for real is on now. I just turned it on.
One day you're gonna say
Feel like it's on.
One day you're gonna say the live stream's on, and we won't believe you, and it'll actually be on.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Woo! Hello and welcome back to the CineManiacs here on your station, your voice, the Galaxy Radio. Our theme tonight is monster movies in honor of Pacific Rim Uprising this past weekend. Congratulations to that film for being the first film to dethrone Black Panther.
It literally took almost 2 months.
Weeks. It did. It took Black Panther was number one for 5 weeks. Last film to do that was Avatar.
Yeah. Good.
That was the last.
Good.
So this is big for Pacific Rim being the first film to finally dethrone the Panther.
I'm not surprised. It's a blockbuster, so of course it was pretty much made to dethrone this movie.
And I mean, if this film didn't do it, then we know Ready Player One's gonna do it.
Yeah, Pacific Rim better enjoy this week.
Yeah, because this is it for Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Unless Ready Player One does not do well at all, and then Pacific Rim will keep its spot.
I don't know. With as much hype as there is around Ready Player One.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I feel like
it's also getting some good reviews.
Yeah, they're projecting Ready Player One to make it's either 43 or 52 million this opening weekend.
It's 52.
52.
Last I saw.
Not bad.
That's really good. Yeah, it's not bad at all. For March, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be April.
Yeah, it'll be April.
It'll be the end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah, because it's got a 4-day weekend instead of 3.
4 days.
Yeah, it comes out
Thursday.
It comes out in an hour.
Yeah. 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 But
I don't know what noise that was.
It was like a That's like a oh no, it comes out in an hour.
We should probably get back into whatever movie we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah.
So the second half of our show we have both Hellboy movies and we have the OG Pacific Rim, all Guillermo del Toro.
Yep.
So I have not seen any of these films, but
you could have seen Pacific Rim.
I have homework.
Have you seen the Hellboy movies?
I've seen both of them. I remember the second one more because I've seen the second one a little bit more.
That's fair.
I haven't seen the first. I've seen the first one. It's also I think I've seen parts of it. I don't think I ever sat and watched it all the way through.
Fun fact: the first time I ever saw Hellboy was when I rented it at Blockbuster.
Ooh. Back in the day.
Yep. The last couple days of Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Was when I rented it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's. Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Actually, the last Blockbuster.
That was 4th grade.
When did the last Blockbuster?
Blockbuster officially closed in 2013.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, its last store closed in 2013.
Yeah. The last film that was rented at Blockbuster was the movie. Ironically enough, This Is the End.
Yeah.
I think someone purposely did that.
Yep, that was the last movie rented at the last Blockbuster before it closed, and the last Blockbuster that closed was in Hawaii. Yeah, that was the last Blockbuster to close was in Hawaii.
Yeah,
and the last film rented was This
Someone
Is
was
the
probably
End.
it would be funny if I just rent This to the End from Blockbuster, and his friends were like, go ahead and do it, and he didn't.
Yep. Yeah. But so it's just you two then for this half.
Pretty much.
So go ahead and take it away.
I guess I'll do the synopsis of the first one.
Yeah.
So Hellboy came out in 2004. It stars Ron Perlman as Hellboy, Selma Blair as Liz Sherman, Doug Jones as Abe Sapien.
The creature.
Yeah,
From Shape of Water.
Stop talking. I swear to God. I hate when you say that.
Creature from Shape of Water.
Shape of Water is directed by Guillermo del Toro, and the creature's played by Doug Jones, and it kind of looks like Abe Sapien from Hellboy. Is this a prequel to the Hellboy movies? No. Stop talking. Please. And then it stars the late and great John Hurt as Hellboy's father. Adopted father. So how we open up is we see that it is Nazi Germany, and there is a man named Rasputin who is trying to basically open up the portal to hell so that he can release demons into the world. And so the Americans end up stopping him, but one demon got through, and we find out that that is a young Hellboy, and that's the code name that they give him. And so he's basically raised by the government in secret, and then we flash forward a couple years. Well, not a couple years. We flash forward to modern day, which was 2004, and we find out that Hellboy and a couple of other creatures like Abe Sapien work for the BPRD, which is the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Development. Basically, their job is to fight demonic creatures and to stay out of sight so that nobody knows that demons are an actual thing in the real world. Then we find out that Rasputin is still alive, he gets resurrected, and his goal is to basically unlock Hellboy's true potential of becoming, I think he's called like the Deathbringer or something, because he has like the right hand of doom, which is, it unlocks the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically it. Rasputin's trying to unlock Hellboy's true potential and cause the apocalypse to happen, and Hellboy and the rest of the BPRD are trying to stop him. All throughout this, we get very comedic elements of Hellboy trying to... Here's a pun. He's trying to reignite his relationship with Liz Sherman, who has the ability to manipulate fire. And we basically see everything through the eyes of a new BPRD agent whose name I cannot remember. It is John Myers. That's what it is. Agent Myers. We see everything through the eyes of the new agent, Myers, who's played by Rupert Evans. Jeffrey Tambor's also in this movie.
Oh.
He plays Agent Manning. He is the one who does not like Hellboy, thinks that he's reckless and dangerous, and makes for some funny elements. Because this movie does a really good job of balancing dark and comedic. Guillermo del Toro, I think, is really good at that, because he has these beautiful visions of like horrible looking and terrifying monsters, but he's also really good at balancing that out with comedy. We find out that Hellboy loves cats. He has a thing for cats. And so, like, whenever you go into his room, he's got, like, 17 cats running all over the place. He drinks, and his favorite candy bar is Baby Ruth's. Yeah, Baby Ruth's. Mm-hmm. And it's just, like, it's funny because he's so, like, he wants to be seen, but he can't be seen otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
Like the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. It's sort of like the Ninja Turtles, kind of, but better than the new ones.
Okay. I mean, you could argue that for the old ones because we don't talk about the third live action Ninja Turtles.
I know the second one's pretty bad too.
Hey, the second one gives us Go Ninja Go with wiping them eyes.
That doesn't make it any better.
That makes it a classic.
If my brothers were here right now, boy, would they be heated up and debating with you.
No, here's the thing. I like the old Ninja Turtle movies. I like the first one and I like the second one. However, the second one is not as good of a movie as the first one. And we don't talk about the third one.
The third one? Literally, like, the third one, like, is pretty much erased from history.
Turtles in Time.
Good game. Bad.
But no, like, jumping back to Hellboy, one reason that if you guys know me, you know I absolutely love Hellboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, these two are some of my favorite movies. I just really love them. They're just so good. Like they're dark, they're fun, and it's just a really good action movie. It has some great moments of emotion, and it's just so beautiful. It really is. And one reason that I absolutely love this movie is because of the special effects and the practical effects. Like, Hellboy's completely practical. Abe Sapien is completely practical. There's not a lot of CGI in this movie. There's CGI at the end, and there's CGI for one demon that Hellboy fights continuously throughout the film. But even that one, a lot of it is practical effects, but for the movements they had to incorporate some CGI.
Yeah.
But I think it still looks good to this day. Like, this movie was made in 2004, and I think it holds up. It's just, it's really a fun. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, like I said, it has been a long time since I've seen this movie, but I agree with you. From like I think it does hold up also. So like today, like in like the 14 years it's been around, it still holds up pretty well. I like I didn't have any problem with any characters. I liked all the characters, and I was just like, just like the concept that Hellboy itself is just like a really like fascinating concept for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love stuff like that, so it's like really cool and really good. And everything looks really good. Like you said, like it's the perfect balance of special effects and practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
And it like does that very well. And just like I've seen a movie that it's rare to see a movie that balances both of those out perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last movie I saw that does that was 3 years ago when I watched Krampus.
Krampus is good.
Krampus uses practical effects.
I really like
very
Krampus.
well.
Don't give me that look, Levi.
See,
Krampus? Don't you mean Trumpus?
Stop.
Stop that now.
Somebody made a parody.
No, stop.
I hate you.
Krampus.
Trumpus. Trumpus.
Oh. Not now. Not now. Later.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I'm pretty much saying that like that movie also balances practical effects and special effects very well, and saying that like the only movie I've seen done that before, like after that, well before that was Hellboy back in like 2004. It's like saying a lot. It's a big gap. But yeah, like I think
there are some movies that have done a good job, but
that's like the one that first comes to my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I pretty much all I have to say about this movie.
I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what else I was gonna say. I was gonna say I think I was gonna say something that has to do with the comedy, because like the comedy in this movie is pretty it's pretty on point. There's a scene where because like I said, Hellboy's trying to get his relationship with Liz back on track.
Mm-hmm.
She dumped him because he was immature, which you learn about. You learn more about that, and you see where she's coming from as the movie goes on.
I don't blame her.
But she ends up going on a date with Myers, and so it's funny because we see Hellboy basically like following her to see what Myers is trying to do, like where he's trying to take this date. And so the two of them are sitting on a park bench, and Hellboy is up on a rooftop. And a little boy comes out, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're Hellboy!" And so, like, he's like, "Dude, calm down." I'm like, I'm spying on people. So the kid brings up, like, a plate of cookies for Hellboy, and they just sit down as Hellboy is giving him relationship advice. And the kid's like,
Wait,
"It doesn't look like that guy's trying to do anything." And Hellboy's like, "No, just wait a minute. He's doing the whole... You'll see." And the kid's like, "It just looks like he's tired because he's, like, doing the whole yawning." And then Hellboy's like, "Just wait. He's going to put his arm around her and try to bring her closer to him." And that's exactly what happens. He's like, "There we go." And it's funny to see a demon talking to a little boy like this, and it's just, it makes for some really funny moments. Like, this movie balances it really well. It never feels out of place. Like this is a dark movie. Like, it gets to some dark places, but the comedy never takes you out of it. Like a lot of Marvel movies nowadays, as much as I love Marvel movies, the comedy takes you out of the movie.
2017 made that very apparent.
Yeah,
Guardians and Thor.
I was gonna say Thor, even though I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Hey,
Too much.
Hey, Homecoming didn't have that bad.
No,
Homecoming
Homecoming
was
was
good.
fine.
Homecoming
It was just
was good.
Guardians and
Yeah, and I'm like, I always forget that Homecoming came out last year.
Yeah.
The Guardians
forget
and
that.
Thor was just too much. Like Thor was way over the top. Like the whole movie itself was just a joke.
Yeah.
And then Guardians, it was just
That
too
series
much.
Yeah.
That series is just a joke.
But like, if you watch Hellboy and you compare it to movies like that, the comedy never takes you out of it because it has scenes where it feels natural, and it's really good. I really love the first one.
So, I mean, I'll go with
I know. I was just making sure you didn't have anything else to say.
All right.
Obviously, he doesn't have
I
anything.
got
to say.
nothing.
Yeah, so you can go first.
Is it always just another day at the bureau?
Just another day at the bureau.
Oh, what's the other one he always says?
You wouldn't last one day in the
You
bureau.
wouldn't last a day at the bureau.
Yeah, and then he says another one. Oh God, what's his other?
What's his
quote?
other one?
Oh
You
my
wouldn't
God.
last a day at the bureau. What's his other one? Oh my God.
What's his quote?
I'm looking over it right now.
Quotes from Injustice.
Yeah, there's just like a section of them. Obvious.
I'm sorry that we're taking so long, but we gotta get this.
These are just match intros. Match intros. Match intros. Match intros. Match intros.
Oh my God, what was it? You wouldn't last a day at the bureau. Oh Lord.
Could
you be any
more
more boring?
Could you be any more boring?
I ain't cutting you any slack. Oh God, he has a lot of them. Also, not making a good first impression.
That's it. That's it.
First
Not making a good first impression. Those are the two.
Yep.
Not
You
making
wouldn't
a
last a
good
day
first
at the
impression. Yeah, you wouldn't last a day.
As much as you hate him for as many times as I played as him, and you heard those lines in Injustice too.
Not a day went by.
The movie is really good.
Not a
And
day
Levi,
went by.
I really want you to watch the first one. Levi, I really want you to watch it someday. Dude, it's really good. I know you don't like Guillermo del Toro, but this movie is it's really good. Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance like I gave 50 Shades a chance.
You made a choice with 50 Shades.
I know.
That was your choice. I did not say you guys have to watch them.
I know.
He's not saying you have to. He's suggesting that you should watch it.
I'm just suggesting that you give it a chance because it's a really good movie and I feel like you would enjoy it.
I'll think about it.
Alright, so I'm going to give my rating.
Yeah, ratings.
I'm going to give the first Hellboy movie an 8.4.
Oh!
I really like this movie.
You know, I knew it was going to be the Yates, too. That's
Yeah.
the sad thing.
I really like the first Hellboy movie.
I'll also no. I'll give it a rating of I'll give it like a 7.3.
Ooh, that's low.
No, it's not.
For me, it's not. For you, that's low.
7.3?
I give it it's
For Hellboy?
7.5. There, it's in between range 7.3, 7.5 for me.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
Because
That's average.
And that's because of the fact that
Above
I
average.
have not seen it as often as I've seen the Golden Army.
I don't know what the...
That's the
Hellboy
sequel.
2.
Oh, okay.
It's the sequel.
I know, yeah.
So I remember because I've seen the first two, but and then the anime movie that they always did was really good too. But I've seen the first one probably a couple times, but I've seen the sequel a lot more.
I got you.
So yeah, 7.3, 7.5 was gonna be in that range.
Alright. Then I guess moving on to the second one, Hellboy 2, the Golden Army, not Circle.
No,
That's
that's
Kingsman.
Kingsman, and that's not good.
Oh.
Wait, no,
Kingsman 2 is fun.
Kingsman 2 is fun.
it's not as good.
It's not as good as the
Yeah,
first
not
one,
as good as
no,
the first
but
one, but it's still fun. It's
It's not.
entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you
Nothing
want
more.
to do the synopsis of Hellboy 2, or do you want me to?
I can do it. If I need any help, I'll let you.
I was gonna say I'll pop in every now and then
Yeah.
if you get something wrong.
So The sequel starts off with like it's like 10 years, and like after he gets found by his adoptive father, and his father like recounts to him like the story of like an ancient golden army.
Yep.
And I forget like the entire like tale of it.
Okay, I'll tell the tale of it because the tale is really important.
Yeah.
So basically, we find out that whenever man first came to be, they got in a war with the forest people, which is like the I don't know if they're not called the forest people, but the people of the forest. And because they wanted to build buildings and all that, and roads.
The elves?
The elves. Yes.
The elves.
They were. The reason I call them the forest people is because that's where they came from.
I mean, yeah, but you can't get much. Like, elves always live in the forest.
Oh my god, okay, fine. Oh my god, you didn't even remember the story!
Hey, that's because it's a long story.
It's
really
long
not.
story.
The humans get into a war with the elves, and the elves end up creating what is called an invincible golden army. So the humans lose the war, but the king of the humans and the king of the elves form a treaty. And how you control the golden army is you have a crown made up of 3 pieces. 2 pieces were given to the humans, and 1 piece was kept with the elves, so that nobody would be able to control the golden army.
This sounds like some Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Middle Earth type shit. That's what this sounds like.
So, basically, that truce was to forever be kept, and the golden army would always be locked away.
And it is until this movie, because this takes place. I don't know it takes place after the first one, obviously.
Yeah, it only takes place. Years after.
Liz and Hellboy are back together.
Yeah.
Still problematic, but whatever.
It makes for some funny moments.
Yeah, but the Prince of the Underworld comes up.
Prince Nuada.
Yeah, Prince Nuada comes up, and he wants to go an army for himself. And it starts off with like a really cool fight.
Mm-hmm.
I forget like what happens in that fight, but it's like
the fight with
in the city, with like the giant worm or whatever it is.
Giant. That's not in the beginning. That's halfway through.
That's what I'm thinking about.
You're talking about the giant, the plant.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Giant plant guy.
I think he was called like the forest god or something.
Yeah, that's what
gods of the forest.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Not the elf guy.
No. Continue, and I'll pop in every now and then to help you.
Yeah, and pretty much just like they have to go and they're like trying to get to the pieces before King Prince Nuada can get to them. So they can prevent him from forming the Golden Army and taking over the world and just bringing demons back into the world.
And don't forget about his sister Prince Nuala.
That's too close. They're too. I forget he has a sister in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Princess Nuala.
It's his daughter and his sister.
It's an elemental forest god. That's the plant. That's
okay.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much like Liz, Abe, and Hellboy have to just work together once again to get these pieces of the crown, so they can prevent Prince Nuada from resurrecting the Golden Army. I mean that's pretty much like the main synopsis of the story.
Yeah.
But I've seen, like I said, I've seen this one. I remember this one fondly because the fact of I saw this one in theaters when I was a kid.
Oh, I never saw it.
I saw the second one in theaters. I had a good time. I was young, so obviously.
I would love to have seen Hellboy.
It was pretty fun. I liked it. So I saw it and it was a good time. It was funny. Had a lot of really good action in it. The one I remember always is the elemental forest forest creature.
That's a good scene.
That comes into the city and just that Hellboy has to fight. And that's always a really good scene. And
you know what scene I always loved?
Which one?
The tooth fairies in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, chill.
Yeah, you did. Because the tooth fairies are scary.
With Dwayne Johnson and Larry the Cable Guy?
That's scary.
That is scary. No. In the very beginning, Prince Nuada attacks a group of humans at an auction where they were selling part of the Golden Crown, and he uses tooth fairies to kill them. And tooth fairies they're like that big, and they have the ability to fly, and they feast off of calcium.
Okay.
So the best source for calcium is in the teeth. So the tooth fairies attack humans and eat the teeth first, and then eat the rest of the bone in the body.
Interesting.
It's absolutely creepy.
Yeah, you're just like you just left just like a sack.
Yeah. And then they eat the sack.
Yeah.
That's the last thing they eat.
Yeah, it's no calcium, obviously.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, that's also a pretty good scene. And like also like just like the scene in the end is also pretty good too.
yeah, when they actually fight the Golden Army.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't forget about Johann Kraus in this film. Voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
What? I forgot who Johann Kraus was.
He was the guy with the dome. He was made out of, what was it?
I feel like I remember the character. I'm pretty sure.
Not psychoplasm. Something plasm. But he's really cool because he has the ability to what's it called? He can release part of himself because he's completely made out of like mist, and he can control other beings for a short amount of time. It's really cool. Ectoplasm.
Whoa.
He's an ectoplasmic medium.
Yeah. I always think of like for some reason I was thinking of the goblin that they find in like the leads to the Golden Army.
That's my least favorite part.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why I remember him the most though.
Because he's annoying.
Yeah, probably.
He's my least favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the fact that they're in Ireland for like part of the movie. That was really nice.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
But yeah, like the fights in this movie are pretty good. The comedy is also very good, and the comedy is pretty well balanced with like the tone, like with the film as well.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I enjoy about this movie?
I'll tell you one thing that I enjoy about this movie.
Mm.
They really let Guillermo take full control of this movie because he went all out with the creatures.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they go to a troll market, and it's all practical effects of different creatures inside the troll market. And it is absolutely awesome because there's a bunch of fight scenes that go on. It's just, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, just like
With
this.
Mr. Wink.
This one is definitely like a step up from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Just like step up, just like creative wise, just like making everything better than it was in the first one.
Yep.
But yeah, like I mean,
Remember Drunk Hellboy and Drunk Abe singing?
yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts.
That's a fake. That's so funny.
It's just it's a funny and heartwarming scene. Like whenever they go into Hellboy's room and Liz is asleep, and Abe's like, "This is the last beer," and Hellboy's like, "Why doesn't she love me?" it's just so
funny.
It's so funny. He's like, "Look at her. I do everything for her, and she still hates me." It's a funny scene, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much done what I have to say. So.
Yeah. Me personally, Hellboy 2 is a much. I think it's better than the first one, but I still enjoy the first one more. And I don't know why. Whenever they go to Ireland, it just gets a little long for me, especially with the Goblin guy. That part really drags it down for me. But literally, if they just took that part out, I feel like I would enjoy Hellboy 2 more.
Yeah.
Hellboy 2 has a much more complex story and better visuals.
Yeah.
Not that the visuals in the first one were bad, but they really let Guillermo take control in this one. Like the studio is basically like, all right, you proved that you can make a good movie with the first one, and let you do the second one. They left us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
in the second one that's never going to be resolved because they're now rebooting.
She was gonna have twins.
Yeah.
Never know what happened.
Never know. Makes me sad. But no, Hellboy 2 is a very good movie.
Very good movie.
Good action, good comedy. Just overall a really good movie.
Yeah, like
Very
I definitely
solid.
like. Now we're talking like definitely like want to watch these again, and then also watch
I know. I want them on Blu-ray.
Also want to watch like they did some anime movie with the same cast.
Yeah.
They're like also
I never
pretty
watched
good.
those.
I've seen a few. I see like one of them because they always have like it was like Hellboy like sort of storms or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I watched that one. I watched that one a few times. Like this is pretty good.
They showed that a lot. Late nights on Cartoon Network.
Yeah. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Like it has like Ron Perlman as Hellboy, and like it has literally like the entire cast is the exact same.
Yeah.
In like from the movie, from like the live action, like the animated movies.
And that was actually taken from the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the design, like the art design, that one is just so like
'cause
the art
they had
design
Mike
is so
Mignola.
good. Yeah.
And Mike Mignola draw it out and animate it. Oh, I love the Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
Well,
And it looks like the reboot's gonna be like animated too.
What?
Like like from the poster that they have of it, it's like an animated poster.
That's no, it's not.
It would be, I would like it if they kept
It's live
animating it.
action.
I hate to break this up
You have
for
to go to
time's
the next
sake.
movie.
Yeah, I know.
What would you rate Hellboy?
To the Golden Army.
I would rate this one. I give this one like a 7.9 or like an 8.
Okay.
I told you I like this movie.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Brendan.
I'll give this one an 8.2.
Okay. No,
They're
that's
good movies.
Yeah, no,
I really enjoy
No,
it.
that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, then if that's it for Hellboy, then you guys want to move on.
Last film, Pacific Rim, also directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Starring Charlie Hunnam and Idris Elba.
Charlie Day.
No. Oh yeah.
Sure, Charlie's
Yeah.
in it. I'm like, you want to say no? Like, yeah, he
Yeah.
was in that movie.
I was gonna say no because I thought he was gonna make a joke about Charlie Hunnam and be like Charlie, and then he was gonna say some stupid name. So
In the Chocolate Factory.
I immediately was like no, and then I was like, oh wait, Charlie Day, yeah, he
Day,
was actually in
yeah.
this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Two Charlies. Charlie. All right.
Sorry, Charlie.
Okay, you can both stop.
I guess do you want
Charlie.
me to do this one or do you want to
You can do this one.
Okay. So Pacific Rim takes place in 2020, right?
It starts off.
In 2013.
No,
Right.
it will. So like the before like it's like the movie plot is in 2013 there was like a crack in the Pacific Ocean that is like pretty much like it's called the breach. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's called The Breach.
The breach, and it just opened up from like tectonic plates being tectonic plates and things open up in the bottom of the ocean.
like oil and pollution helped
Open it up.
cause it as well.
So once it opens up, like for a while, nothing really happens. They're just like, there's just a weird crack opened up at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And then one day, a big kaiju just pops out of the ocean and destroys like 3 cities and kills like a lot of people. It takes them like 3 weeks to kill it. It takes them a while to kill it.
Yeah. It took them like 3 weeks because they were only using like tanks and helicopters
And like
military.
jets and all that stuff.
But it was too powerful.
Yeah, and so like by that time, like it took a lot of like it took at least like 3 major cities down by that time.
Because it took down L.A.
It just kept moving.
It took down San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
It basically took out the West Coast.
Yeah, it took out like the most important parts of California.
Yeah.
So those were gone, and then like it just kept getting worse because they would just keep coming, and since like the weapons improved slightly, but nothing else. Everything else just like was not cutting it. So eventually, it started making more. They kept going and making more armor, which made them making more weapons. Which turned to the Jaegers, which are like these giant robots that they used to fight off the kaiju, which are pretty effective.
Yeah.
And then it flash forwards into 2020 where we see Charlie Hunnam and his brother
Yeah, I don't know his brother's name. I don't remember the characters' names.
Me neither. But they're...
It was Breckert.
Brecker, there we go.
Was Charlie Hunnam's character.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the thing about Jaegers is you have to have 2 people pilot one.
Because if you use one, it does not work. You will die.
Yeah, they hook it up to like your brain and your nervous system. And so basically the 2 pilots share one brain so that they can control the Jaegers.
It pretty much like, if you lose an arm on a Jaeger, it hurts.
Yeah, it basically paralyzes your
you pretty
arm
much
until you get out of the Jaeger.
Yeah, like you pretty much lost that arm, and so like you're done.
Yeah. So like one pilot controls one side of the Jaeger, one pilot controls the other side. And so we find out that Charlie Hunnam's character Breckert and his brother piloted Gypsy Danger. That was the name of the Jaeger. And when they went and fought a kaiju, Charlie Hunnam's brother was killed. So Breckert basically is in control of the Jaeger for however many hours. I think it was like 3 hours or so until he got back to shore. Well, then he quit. We flash forward to 2025, and we find out that the government is shutting down the Jaeger program, which makes absolutely no sense.
Because the fact of...
And I'm probably going to get more into that, like, whenever we start reviewing the movie.
Yeah, because, like, it doesn't make sense, but they're just like, yeah, the Jaegers, they're done.
And, like, Idris Elba is the marshal. He's, like, in charge of, like, the Jaeger program. So he recruits Breckert again because they need to take out as many kaiju as they can and try and close the breach before the program gets shut down.
Yeah.
So he has to find a new co-pilot, which ends up being, what was her name? Mako Mori?
Yeah, something
Mako
like that
Mori?
sort.
She ends up, being Breckert's co-pilot. They have difficulties linking properly.
They both have, like...
They both have PTSD.
Yeah, traumatic
from the kaiju.
past.
And Charlie Day's character is a scientist, and he's trying to figure out how to close the breach.
Yeah, because he researches like all the monsters, like their body parts, like the brain, like not the brain. He never gets the brain. He never gets like a full intact brain.
Yeah,
he has parts of like the kaiju brain, just like and he gets like
secondary brain.
He gets like various parts that they can like that the crew can get their hands on, but nothing ever like really like extremely good. It's him and like his partner. His partner's
I know,
name.
I can't remember.
Because he's like
the actor.
Yeah, because they're pretty much like 2 opposites. Charlie's just like, hey, we should keep going and like like because Charlie was like, hey, if we can do like the same like mind belly that the Jaeger can, like the pilots of the Jaeger can do, we can do that. We can do that for a person, the kaiju brain. We can figure out how to close the breach and how like they're all coming through, and like that's.
It was Bern Gorman that played the character. It was
Gottlieb. There we go. And that's like the secondary plot between like that, just like Charlie Day trying to figure out like how to like get this kaiju brain to work and like how like to close the breach. Because because he does it and it works, and he finds out like once he finds out it's successful, he realizes that he needs like a better brain to like a better like like kaiju brain to do it all the way through and like see how to successfully close the breach and how it operates and whatnot. And like I said, that's like the secondary plot, and I mean like pretty much like because once Breckert and like Mako meet, it's just like them trying like to make things work, and also dealing with the other Jaegers that are like from Australia, Russia, China.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 other Jaegers that are still alive.
Yeah.
All the other pilots are dead, and like since the program being dismantled, it's like no one else really cares about it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like those 3 are like the best ones left, and Australia has problems. Like the Australian pilots are like a father and son team.
Yeah.
The son does not like Breckert at all because I think like because of the fact that he abandoned. He left. He left. And he's like, you shouldn't have come back. We're much better off without you, pretty much.
He's one of those characters.
He's very cocky. And
we don't need you.
He's very cocky and just very annoying.
It's basically like Iceman from Top Gun.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
That's
I
But
don't like
yeah.
Top Gun. Actually, I take that back. I have seen Top Gun. I didn't like it. That's right.
But yeah, it's pretty much like that. But it pretty much like them trying to like to fight these monsters and also like simultaneously trying to like figure out how to close the breach.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like the synopsis of the film.
Yeah.
So you can like actually get a review of it now.
I will say that Pacific Rim, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got very good visuals.
Yes, very good visual.
Very good action scenes. The acting could be better.
Yeah.
In some scenes. Charlie Hunnam is...
Alright.
He can do good. Like, he's good in Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the first season of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He's good in that. But, like, he's not that great in this one. Idris Elba was okay, but I'm like, dude, I've seen
Like,
better from you.
The only person that stood out in this movie was Charlie Day.
Yeah, Charlie Day was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
I really like Charlie Day as an actor. So.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it seems like Charlie Day plays the same character.
Yeah.
That it's always the same guy.
But he's always good. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman makes an appearance in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah, Ron Perlman's in it.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the acting could have been better in
Mm-hmm.
some scenes. And, the plot is a little... The plot's a little because like I said, these Jaegers are the number one defense.
Not the number one.
It's
Pretty
the
much
only
the only
defense
defense.
against kaijus. And the thing about the kaijus is that more of them are coming as time goes on. So, like, it was originally, like, one per month. Then it got reduced to, like, one every other week.
Yeah.
Then it was one per week. And then it was one per day. And then it's, like, one per 3 hours. So, more of them keep coming. And the government decides, hey, let's shut down the Jaeger program.
Because it's not doing anything.
They're basically saying, let's let the world die.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
It makes no sense as to why the government would shut down the Jaeger program.
Yeah, everyone's like, hey, you know that one big defense that keeps us all alive? Nah, we're shutting that down.
That's where I have my major issues with the plot.
Mm-hmm.
There are also parts that are left out. This movie's long. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes, but it feels long.
I remember at one point we were like watching it and we're just like, we're not an hour through and you just hear Levi being like, what? Levi just in his room doing homework just like, oh god.
We never paused it either.
Yeah, we just kept watching it all the way through. We did not pause.
And like, for a movie that seems so long, there are things that we don't see that are left unanswered. Like, for example, Breckert and Makomori fail their first link. The only link we see them do, they fail because Makomori has PTSD and she basically breaks down and they have to unplug the Jaeger before she destroys the whole entire facility.
Yeah.
But then, when 3 kaijus pop up...
It's 2 at first.
I'm sorry, yeah.
It
When
starts off as
2
2.
pop up, Gypsy Danger just comes in and Breckert and Mako are doing perfectly fine.
Yeah, they don't like...
So we don't see them overcome the failure of the link.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it. This is supposed to be like an action movie. Like, we're not supposed to really care.
Still,
but it's,
I would like to see, like,
we gotta see them
working together.
We gotta see them overcome.
Because, like, Mako had fun, but he also did, but he got over his faster.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's been, like, so long, he's just like, yeah, this happened, but I can't go anywhere if I keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because, you find out Idris Elba consistently holds back Mako, and you find out that because she has, like, such bad PTSD, he never allows her to go into the field, even though she's really good at fighting.
Yeah.
He's just like, you can never go out to the field, never at all. And then, like, because at one point, Breckert and Mako, like, have, like, a little, like, spar practice.
That was to see who was to be
his partner.
His co-pilot, yeah.
And once they fight, he's me like, this is my partner. And Idris Elba's like, no, this can't happen. And then, because we don't know why at that point, we're just like, why can't she be the partner?
Yeah.
And you see in a flashback that when she was younger, her entire city was destroyed by a kaiju,
And the
she
kaiju
was like
chased her.
she was like the
down.
last one alive, pretty much. And then like later on, you find out that Idris Elba was the one who saved her at the end, because like
So that's how he knew.
that's how he knew like
that.
not to let her do it. Also, they don't talk about it, but I feel like he did it because of the fact of I don't know, like I feel like he looks to her like he's like a father figure, so like his daughter, like his only child, to go out there and like potentially die. Because a lot of Jaeger pilots do die. Like it's a common thing that happens.
Yeah, I think they said like in the beginning they lost like 3 Jaegers in like 1 hour. And it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
But like you never really like see that.
Yeah.
And that kind of bothers me. Like the only other time that we see Jaegers fight that aren't like in the film, like when it's going down, like when the climax is happening, is in like a newsreel just showing the Australian Jaeger taking down a kaiju. You never see like you never feel the impact of all of these people dying because you're just like, oh okay.
And also, the intro, the beginning of the movie where they fight.
Yeah, you see the intro.
And like, I mean, like you see the toll it has on Brecker because
he lost his brother.
He lost his brother in that fight.
Yeah.
But like, you don't really see like the impact it has on like, yeah, these people are dying. Like it takes a toll on them, but you don't see like how big of a toll it takes on them at all. Like, no one ever just like breaks down and just like, yeah, they're dead. Let's just keep moving on.
Yeah.
Probably because that's what Idris Elba's like character pretty much is. That's his whole demeanor. Just like, yeah, they're dead, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
But like, that's like the plot is kind of just like, but like you said,
the visuals make this movie.
Visuals and the design on the kaiju is just so beautiful. I love like the design on these are so good.
Can make some monsters.
And these are all like, they're not practical like he usually prefers.
Yeah. But
he makes it work because they're all like, some of them like look practical, but they're like the little babies.
Yeah.
They're like they get from the like the dead monsters.
Like I'm sure like the specimens that they get, like the tentacles and stuff.
Yeah, those are probably practical.
Yeah.
Like when they're in the
Jaegers are fighting, nah. That's all CGI.
But yeah, and it's a lot of CGI. Gonna have to be like the Jaegers and then all the kaijus. So like it works pretty well, and I love the fights in this movie are really good.
And as much as I love the fights, there was one problem that occurred to me, which was at one point like they're fighting a monster, and like they're being taken up into Earth's atmosphere because the monster's just trying to like get them away and drop them from like a high point so that they'll die. And Brecker is just like, we don't have anything else we can do. And then McElmoy's like, we got one thing. And then you find out that the Jaeger had a sword the whole time. And it's like, why did you not use the sword earlier so you could take down the other kaiju?
Because it's not as fun.
It would have been awesome.
But it wouldn't have been fun.
Like if these Jaegers had weapons, if these Jaegers had weapons the whole time, like the Australian one had like 6 rocket launchers in its chest, why did they not use them earlier?
I feel like that's what they're probably doing, improving on in the sequel.
That is
the sequel,
because we
they
all
have weapons.
We see that in the trailer,
and they all use their weapons actively.
It's just, I don't know, that kind of bothered me because I'm like, you had a sword the whole time, you didn't use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. I was about to say something else about like around that same time. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Just let you know we got like 4 minutes. So.
Alright.
Yeah. Forgot what I was gonna say. Well, like, no, it's fine. Oh yeah, I remember now. I think the most interesting part about this movie was the fact of as they learn from the movie, just like you learn that the kaiju they're like pretty much the exact same. They're just cloned and they just look a little bit different.
Yeah,
they have like the exact same DNA. Nothing is the same. Nothing is different about them. They just look different, and some of them can do more. But the fact is, you pretty much learn that they're practically like machines because whenever like they'll fight the kaiju, and then when another one comes in later on, the reason they can kill their Jaegers is because they adapt to every fight they have with the Jaegers. When they die, the next one that comes up knows what to expect from another fight, and they consistently adapt with each battle, just like how the pilots of the Jaegers learn how to react and fight, and that it makes it so interesting. The fact of they're not just like mindless monsters that just come in and just like want to destroy something. They're like here, they like come in, they want to destroy stuff, but the fact is, when they realize that we can't do this without like learning how to fight back, they learn how to utilize like tactics. They all like the monsters have like their own strategies to fight against the Jaegers. Like at one point, in the climax in the beginning, there's one monster by itself that's just fighting the
It's the Russians.
The Russians. They're fighting like the Russian Jaegers, and it's just one monster. And then out of nowhere, you all see that there was a second one the entire time that was hiding its like frequency or whatever.
Yeah.
And it like pretty much like comes in from behind and just destroys the Russian Jaeger, which means they know how to like easily overpower them. And also, that same monster has like an EMP like in its body.
Yeah.
And it like just like takes out the Australian Jaeger and like takes down the city.
Yeah.
And it's really well thought out, really well done.
Yeah.
Just like I just like all of that. And just like makes the movie really fun.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
It's just not like great, but it's fun to watch.
I wish the plot was a little bit better, and I wish the acting was a little bit better. But overall, this is just like a monster fighting movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just pure fun. Like that's all it's for, and I think it does a good job of it.
All right. Ratings, yeah.
You go first this time, Steven.
I'll give Pacific Rim just like a 7.2.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah,
give
because
it.
it's not the best, but it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Especially because like I just love like I love like big monster movies like this. Like
Godzilla.
around our same time last year we had like the whole Godzilla, so it's like it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch and just really fun. It's like something fun to have in the background and just like like just enjoy in the background and whatnot.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm excited. I kind of want to see Pacific Rim Uprising now.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks interesting.
Well, with that, that's going to complete our show for tonight. So, yeah, go see Pacific Rim Uprising. It's out in theaters now. But also, more importantly, this weekend, go check out Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
Go see that.
Yes, do that.
Anything else you guys got? Show, Steven?
I'm doing it this Friday, but after that, I won't be doing it next week because I have to moderate HVZ.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Steven won't be with us next week because he'll be.
Yeah, HVZ's back.
Yeah.
You guys should sign up for that if you're gonna. If you want to play, go ahead and sign up. We're gonna be in the UC. We're gonna be in the UC all week and also Monday and Tuesday next week before initiation. So if you want to join and want to play, come to UC, find us, and just sign up for the game as usual.
Nice. All right, yeah, go sign up for HVZ. Initiation is Tuesday night, so go play. Steven won't be with us next week, so he'll be moderating for that. But we'll have Irvin as coming back. So yes, sir. Yeah, just on the show to talk about Ready Player One, Spielberg.
Yeah.
Well, all right, that is going to be it for us. Nobody's got anything else then.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Levi. Thanks for being with us tonight on your station, your voice, the Galaxy Radio.